I remember before I met a man, which I'm going to that story later on. But prior to meeting my former husband, I was assigned to interview a number of, do a number of exclusive stories, like I said. So during my first interview, which was in Nairobi, Kenya, within an estate, a very popular estate within Eastlands, Nairobi Eastlands Estate. So I was assigned to interview a witch doctor, and I went with my colleague at the time. I was not professing Christ, but I was not serious. So we went there, and I remember when we arrived there, at the witch doctor's there were 7 pots of blood, 7 pots full of blood. And when I inquired from the witch doctor the purpose of the blood, he told me that was food for the evil spirits. So I didn't take it seriously. I thought it was a joke, a big joke or something. I didn't understand how blood would be food for, evil spirits. And I never believed in evil spirits myself at the time. So I remember he told me that, and then he showed us also, briefcases that were full of money. Actually, precisely, they were like millions. And so he told me that was a tithes, offerings, and sacrifices that people give to the evil spirits. So I was like, okay, no problem. So he requested we were ready for the interview, and then he told us to go back home for a period of 1 week and come back. So a week later, we were back with my colleague, I remember. We went there into the den. Now this time, he had to take us inside, because the first time we went to the den, we were just being shown the 7 pots of blood were outside, the den, and of course the money. But now inside the den was a different story altogether. When we walked in, it was quite dark, I remember. But prior to that, he had to entice the evil spirits. It was a very scary procedure, I remember. So the first thing that he did, he was chanting rituals. He was burning incense, chanting rituals, and using a handbird to entice the evil spirits from various oceans. We keep it as a joke. We were not serious. We thought maybe this guy was kidding us or something of it. So to one out, we didn't believe in evil spirits. So he did entice them, and then after some time he went still. And then there was total darkness. I remember, so me and the photographer, we kept holding hands because we were scared. We could not, it was too late for us to escape because it was very dark. So we were waiting for the worst to happen. So I remember we just sat there holding hands, and then after about 30 minutes, an hour, the evil spirits began coming into the witch doctor's den. As they were coming in, talking to each other, and there were high pitched sounds, voices, high pitched voices, not bass but high pitched. And most of them, because they were all women, the evil spirits, all of them were women. So I remember as they came in, they were like, "Mwanangu ni kwamba," as in, my daughter, here I am. The first one, the second one, the third, the fourth, the fifth. By the time the sixth one was coming, I lost my memory. And then the seventh one came, and then they were able to restore back my memory. Remember, these are fallen angels, and even the Bible tells us that evil spirits are fallen angels. And they're capable of doing the impossible, because they are spirits. They also have, all powers. So after restoring my memory, they're able to talk to me, and the photographer was too. Though the photographer was quiet, I think he was scared. He was in shock. He was utterly shocked. So they spoke to me, and because I wanted to speak to my late father, and I said the Bible tells us there's no connection between the living and the dead. And then they requested if I wanted to talk to my late relatives. I refused. They said, I get the same answer. So I remember they told me that by the time they were being enticed by the witch doctor, they were in various oceans. They live in various oceans. So whenever they enticed, they come out, and then they go to do their various assignments in different countries. They told me that, for example, in the US, for example, in India, where I studied, it takes about 7 hours to go by flight, but they told me to take only 5 minutes to go to any country that where they've been assigned, be it UK, US, you name it. It doesn't matter. This is not a barrier for them. They fly and do the assignments. So the past, I remember asking them, where they live, the oceans. They're talking about portions. So I wanted to know which portions that they come from. So they told me that they come from, and then before I proceed, I remember the Pope been asking me why I keep saying that these evil spirits were speaking in Kiswahili. It's because they are they are conversant with, if you entice them in abroad, that they're able to speak your language. So because I was in Kenya at the time and I was speaking Kiswahili, and the witch doctor was also, speaking Kiswahili, they had to speak a language which I'm conversant with. So evil spirits, they know all languages. That is one thing I want people to know. It does not matter which language you speak, because these evil spirits, they also speak our evil languages are even more. They're very conversant with all languages. So they can speak any language, not necessarily Kiswahili. So I remember when they came, the first, like I said, I'm losing my memory, and then they told me that they reside in oceans. So I wanted to know which oceans they reside in. So they talked about, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and there's one ocean that I keep forgetting. But if I remember, I'll be able to tell you. There are 5 oceans. So they told me by the time which doctor was enticing them, they left the oceans and flew to different countries, where they've been assigned to go and get people who are stuck abroad. That's why you see when somebody disappears abroad for 20 years and then all of a sudden he or she comes back, something has been paid tight or whatever, money has been spent. Of course, Kenyans do it a lot in many other countries, but nobody will accept. I mean, most people would always deny, but that is the truth. People do it a lot, because from what I saw. So I remember after that, after speaking to them, I also wanted to know, what they do and stuff like that, but they could not say much. So after that, we had a conversation with them, and then the photographer requested if he could take pictures of them, and they obliged. They agreed. As the photographer took pictures, all we could see was just skeletons, sort of like skeletons. Remember, these are evil spirits, so they can do anything. Maybe they are playing with our mind, with our psychology. We don't know. But I'm just stating what we saw in the camera, sort of like skeletons. Then they disappeared after some time. So shock on the photographer. And we're wondering, what we're going to tell the company, the organization that assigned us to go and interview with evil spirits. So I remember after some time, after the pictures disappeared, we were all shocked, and then after the interview, it took about an hour. I took about an hour with them, after talking to them. And one thing I want to let you know, or I want to bring to your attention, is that evil spirits know us too well, because they could tell even everything. That they could tell us a lot of things about ourselves. The hidden things that we don't know, or the hidden things that we know but we tend to keep to ourselves, they know, and they always spit it out, given a chance. So after that, after talking to them, I remember they had to leave now because we were done. So they left one by one. Only that this time now they're not being enticed. They were just leaving at their own pace. And as each and every one of them left, there's a sound of a bell. I don't know what it symbolizes, but then they left. And then I remember before they left, sorry, I forgot to mention that before they left, the photographer requested if we could take pictures of them again. But then this time round, okay, they obliged. They did not hesitate. They just obliged, but then it's the same story. As we're looking at the camera, after taking the second pictures, it was blank. So we were shocked. So they left one by one. As they left, like I said, the sound of a bell, the sound of a bell, and there's some strange feeling. Some, I don't know how to explain it, but it was not normal.